Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming podcast. Today is the 7th October of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I am one of your two hosts for this evening. The second host is Tygergamer. Hey Tiger, how are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How about you?
I am actually doing really well. Finally not sick anymore. So that's always good news, you know.
Yeah.
I had this cold blister inside of my mouth and it was just awful. I couldn't swallow at all.
Dang.
I wouldn't wish that to anyone, and I was just so pissed I had that. It was hard to swallow, it was hard to talk, and the semester has already started, so I had to go teach, so I was talking there. Lots of fun. But that's not what we are here to talk about. We are here to talk about video games. So, shall we do that?
Yes.
So, I got to play 2 games in this past week. The first one is called Time Spinner. And this is Metroidvania. As many people will probably not be surprised. I've been playing a lot of Metroidvanias in the past, actually months, I would say.
Yeah.
And this Metroidvania is actually a good Metroidvania. It's got the classic pixel art style that we all know and love. The combat is fun, fluid for the most part, and it brings a very interesting mechanic into the Metroidvania category. And that is the ability to stop time. But I gotta say, this ability was so underwhelming. The thing is, when you stop time, you cannot damage your foes, which renders it very much underwhelming in combat. You know, like, why would I use it if I can't damage anything? So you pretty much use it only to avoid really big blows, and those come only from bosses. So you're using it in boss fights, and then in certain situations the game forces you to use it to progress further. You know, like there's a platform that's unreachable to you, but to get there you have to stop the time with an enemy in the exact right place so you can jump on the enemy and then onto the platform. So that's an interesting mechanic. But I just wish this mechanic would have been used more in regular combat. I just can't figure out a way to do it without making the ability insanely overpowered. I was like really thinking hard about it, but I just can't find one. There is already a limit to how much you can use it, but it's still pretty. I know. The only real other problem I have with the game is that it is really easy, but that can be fairly easily circumvented if you're a Metroidvania player who knows what the fuck they're doing. Just play on a harder difficulty.
Yeah. Because
when I played on normal, like, often I would just kill enemies before they even got an attack off. Like, 90% of the time. There were situations where I was like, okay, I've killed like 20 of these enemies. I still don't know what their attack is. I'm not gonna attack it just to see what it does. That's not an ideal situation, I would say.
No.
So, but otherwise, it's fluid. It runs well. It looks gorgeous. The music is nice. Yeah, if you like Metroidvanias and you already played the best ones, Time Spinner is a good choice. And I already have a review recorded. I'm going to be posting it probably tomorrow. So if you want a more in-depth explanation of what Time Spinner is, be sure to visit my channel tomorrow.
Okay.
What about you? What did you get to play?
Well, in terms of new games I got to play that are new to me, I played through Titanfall 2's campaign.
Oh, that's not a new game though. That's fairly old, but I've heard good things about it mostly, I think.
Well, it's new to me. I picked it on sale like a few months back, and I decided to finally download it and play it. So, and I mainly just played the campaign. I would say the campaign is like one of the best in terms of FPS campaign.
And the gameplay itself?
Yeah. It's fluid. You can either choose to play it as a normal FPS or use you get like this jump pack that allows you to like run on walls and double jump. Makes you run a lot faster. Makes the gameplay a lot more fluid. And of course, not in the entire story, but at some points, you actually get to pilot your Titan. Which, when you find like regular soldiers with it, it's way overpowered.
Yeah.
But
that should be the case,
yeah.
I would say.
One mechanic that I really liked that is introduced way late into the game, is you come to this facility that was researching time distortions, and you're able to like flip through the past and the present depending on the situation. Like if you need to get through a door, go back to the past. If you don't want to fight these groups of soldiers in the past, just go back to the future and just make your way across and flip back. It's really simultaneous. And that's like one of the standout moments in the campaign for me. But me, I'm not a multiplayer guy, so I didn't play the multiplayer. I tried. I couldn't find a game.
Yeah, that was what I wanted to ask. Is there even a community still active for Titanfall 2?
There might be. I wasn't able to find a game when I tried it.
Oh, that sucks. But how much did you say you paid for this?
I paid I think when it was on sale, I paid like $20 for it.
Do you think it's worth the $20 just for the single player campaign, or do you think it's maybe worth just waiting a bit longer for a bigger sale? I know, like $10.
Well, if you're trying to play the campaign, it's a good campaign, but if you don't want to spend $20, I would say wait a little bit longer for it to go even cheaper. But if you want to play a good first person mech game, go for it.
Yeah, I think it's sad that this game, it looked amazing when it came out, and so did the original Titanfall, but it never caught up in terms of its multiplayer community, really.
Yeah.
So that diminishes the value like a ton for a game that focused a lot of its efforts into it.
Yeah, and one of the things that really sucked about the release of Titanfall 2, I think one of the things that really did it in was it was sandwiched right between Battlefield 1, which released on October 21st, 2016, and Call of Duty Infinite, which released on November 4th, 2016. This game released in October 28th, 2016, so...
Yeah, that was not a good business decision.
No.
Not at all.
It was not.
I honestly think if the game came out now, like in the same exact state, maybe with teeny bit flashier graphics, I think it would do just much better at the current market.
Yeah.
Because in 2016, the FPS market was very crowded. You know, Overwatch was still a big thing, and you have Battlefield 1. Nowadays, what do we really have for big first-person shooters? Technically, there's Quake, Champions.
Yep.
There's going to be Doom Eternal, but that's still somewhat far off. Otherwise, I don't think there is much. So I think they just chose the worst time ever to publish this.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, what can you do?
Yeah, really.
Okay, switching up to another game, the last game I played this week. It's called Deep Sky Derelics. And I gotta say, this game really piqued my interest. But I will not be continuing to playing this because of a simple reason. This game is so freaking hard. Like, oh my god. So what it is like a combination of an RPG, a card game, and it splashes in some roguelike elements. It's really good. The game, the core mechanics are awesome. You essentially play as this like band of guys in space who go through old ships, finding scrap, going on missions, etc., etc. You level up your characters, you gain access to new abilities that are cards, so you have to then have the strategic element of playing the cards. Mechanically, the game is awesome, but man, is it hard. And when it comes to card games, I prefer a bit more casual approach, where, yeah, I just want to have a quick bit of fun. I don't want to spend 2 hours strategizing everything. I had one problem with the game, and that is I don't think it explains enough. I think, like, I had to abandon my first 3 runs just because I had no idea what's going on. So, yeah, I would just hope there would be a bit more of a tutorial available, but sadly that's not in. But what I love the most about this game is its looks. Like, it takes this cartoonish comic book, but very grim look at the same time. Like, it's very dark. Everything looks like almost steampunky in a sci-fi universe. It looks amazing. And for anybody who loves games like XCOM, actually, I think this game will be a great fit. If it's like a combination of XCOM and Slay the Spire.
Okay.
But I think it has a too heavy learning curve for your casual players. So it will do well with the people who love either of these two genres, but it will have a hard time onboarding new users, which I think is sort of sad, because if it just had a slightly better learning curve, just explaining to you more stuff, giving you an easier way to mechanics, rather than just going through the menu and reading everything, because let's face it, most people these days don't have the attention span for that. It would just do so much better. Like, there's so many abilities that do so many different things. It even has an initiative thing, and I know it seems overcomplicated for new users, but complex enough for people who love strategy games. So if you're a guy who loves them, definite recommendation. And for $20, it's gonna pack in a shit ton of value. Like, this is a game you will be literally able to play forever. And there is even an arena mode. I haven't dabbled into that one as much, but I think that one has the potential to be somewhat similar to Slay the Spire in terms of just streaming it. The campaign, not that much, but the arena mode, I think, yes. So that's my view on Deep Sky Derelics. It's $20 on Steam. It's a good game, but man, if you're going to be pissed because it's hard, I would probably not get it. I don't know. I might give it one more try, because I would love to review this and give it a good, thorough look. But I just get pissed about it, you know? And I'm a guy who knows card games. I can play them and strategize, but man, this one is hard. Okay, that's it for the games I played. Have you played anything else?
No.
Okay, then, I guess it's time for us to go into the news section of today's podcast. And we're going to start with this week's big story, and it comes from Poland, out of all places. So, this is a story concerning The Witcher, as Andrzej Sapkowski, the creator of the world of The Witcher, seems to be suing or filing a demand on payment to CD Projekt Red. And he argues that he is owed around 16 million US dollars in royalties. And the reasoning behind this, in Poland, there is a law. And by the way, Polish is not that hard for me. I've checked, the languages are very similar. I actually looked up the law and read it. And the law, what it says is, if there is an unfair compensation, and that is based on how much money the author was paid and how much money was gained using his product, and it has to be by at least 2 orders of magnitude, then he is entitled to more money than what he initially agreed to. And yeah, it's fairly obvious that Andrzej Sapkowski got compensated much less than the 2 orders of magnitude. So apparently he got something like 10,000 US dollars. It fluctuates depending on the exchange rate between the Polish currency and the dollar. And yeah, the Witcher series altogether has made, well, let's call it a shit ton of money. I think that's a fair number to call it. So I actually have the letters that were sent. So let's first take a look at the one sent by Mr. Sapkowski. By the way, this is only a translation, so there are some changes here. But what he's pretty much saying is this. The compensation should be at least 6% of the profits obtained. Consequently, even acknowledging any compensation the author may have already received and taking into account the increase in sale revenues, particularly related to with the Witcher 3 video games together with its expansions, we determine that, as of now, the claim is at least 60 million Polish zloty. And Polish zloty is the Polish currency, and that translates to around $16 million. American, to be more specific. Then there was the response from CD Projekt Red, which I actually like a lot. Though I think they're wrong. From what I read about in the law, it seems that Mr. Sapkowski is in the right. But it says, in the company's opinions, the demands expressed in the notice are groundless with regard to their merit as well as the stipulated amount. The company has legitimately and legally acquired copyright to Mr. Andrzej Sapkowski's work, EA insofar as is required for the use in games developed by the company. All liabilities payable by the company in association therewith have been properly discharged. So this is the part where I think they're wrong. But what I like them saying is, it is the company's will to maintain good relations with authors of works which have inspired CD Projekt Red's own creations. Consequently, the board will go to great lengths to ensure amicable resolution of this dispute. However, any such resolution must be respectful and of previously expressed intent of both parties, as well as existing contracts. So, yeah, what I like here is CD Projekt's Red reaction. I think they realized that, yeah, we got an amazing deal on these rights and we have made so much fucking money out of them. I do think that they think that $16 million is probably a bit too much. And I think maybe it even is. But I think they want to settle this. And if I would be continuing to reading the letter from the lawyers of Mr. Sapkowski, but that one is fucking long. I'm not going to go into that. They're pretty much like, yeah, we don't want to screw your company over. We don't want to take you to court or anything like that. We would just like to find some solution. And both parties being, well, mature about this is the fact that is the thing I like about this.
Yeah, really.
So, what would you say would be a fair number?
Honestly,
You think 16 million is too high?
for CD Projekt Red and the amount of copies that they have sold of all three Witcher games, no.
Yeah, it's 6% of the revenue, and honestly, from what I read, that is a pretty low number. Usually, it's around 10. That's like the average. So he could be asking for more.
Yeah, really.
So, on the other hand, I gotta say, I'm a slightly pissed of Mr. Sapkowski. Let's face it, if it wasn't for The Witcher, his books would have never reached so much international acclaim. A Netflix series wouldn't be in production.
Yeah, really.
So, those are rights he got to sell. And the books, he got royalties from those, for sure. So, I honestly don't see why he is asking for more money. I think he's settled until the rest of his life. How old is he? I forget. Okay, let me find how old is he. He's not like... Yeah, he's 70 years old.
Dang.
It's not like he's gonna go and bang all the chicks in Poland. I think there's a chance like he's maybe trying to, you know, get some money for his children and his grandchildren or something, because he feels like maybe I'm gonna die soon or something.
Yeah. I can see that.
I don't know. Just seems wrong.
Well, hey, the law is in his favor, so...
Yeah, he's probably going to get the money, or at least a decent chunk of it. By the way, I never noticed this. I love his stories from The Witcher, but I never noticed he actually wrote a book about a trilogy about Czech history.
Huh.
Yeah, you know the history in Kingdom Come Deliverance, right? About the Czech religious people called Hussites.
Yeah.
He actually wrote a trilogy about those.
Huh.
He has a Hussite trilogy. I might actually go and read that. And it's a historical fantasy. So, okay. I'm going to go and just put this here so I don't forget about it, and go and find those books after this show.
Okay.
I never even realized that. I know that Polish people like Czech Republic. I don't understand why the fuck they like Czech Republic, but... yeah, just hopefully this dispute gets solved in some decent manner, I hope. Okay, let's move on to the next piece of news, and this one... It's good news. That is sad. So the Seattle police has launched a registry system to prevent swatting. Would you like to explain to our viewers what swatting is? Because honestly, I've explained it too many times and I'm just too depressed by it.
Pretty much, if you're a streamer, if people know your address, they can send the police to your house and on fake pretenses. So.
And people have actually died because of it.
Yeah.
So it's not a good thing. Let's do the usual PSA. Don't do this. It's bad, you idiots.
Yeah, really.
So, a blog post that came from the Seattle police, they say protect yourself from swatting. Swatting is a crime. For those unfamiliar with the term, swatting is the act of creating a hoax 9/11 call, typically involving hostages, gunfire, and other acts of extreme violence, with the goal of diverting emergency public safety resources to an unsuspecting person's residence. How the fuck this? Why is it written so idiotically? It is a deliberate and malicious act that creates an environment of fear and unnecessary risk, and in some cases has led to loss of life. Anyone can be blah blah blah, there's more stuff, and they're essentially saying that they created this rape facility. And you pretty much register into it, and when 9/11 receives a report of an incident, they obviously first send police to your place, but then they check this database. And if you're in it, they will call the police who's heading to your place to tell them, beware, this might be a fake one. So don't shoot first. So this is obviously a good thing that it exists.
Yeah.
But why the fuck do we live in a world where something like this is necessary?
Yes, some people are idiots.
It's just baffling. Like, I still don't understand it. I'm depressed as fuck because of it. Angry as fuck is about it. And this is the part of gaming culture that I really don't like. This is the part that makes us look bad in the public image.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there are similar things for, like, I don't know, not movies, but let's say sport events. You know, you have, like, hooligans for soccer. But the thing is, gaming is still a new thing, broadly speaking.
Yeah, really.
A lot of people still view gaming as a thing that children should do, and when it's adults doing, there has to be something wrong with them. And this is really not helping our case.
No, it's not.
So, please don't do it. I don't think we can do anything more than just say, please don't do this.
You know what? I can see this this registry if people do sign up for it. One of the things that the police should do, if someone calls them and they're on the registry,
mm-hmm.
the person that called them, they should save that number and see if it's the same number that the person has, and if it's not, save the fake number and crack down on these people that did this crap.
Yeah, I'm hoping. One thing that concerns me here potentially is people could just sign for this registry, and it could be people who are actual criminals.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know. It just seems like a really bad situation. It's just like a catch-22 situation, you know.
Yeah.
It's just there's no way out of it.
What they could do with the registry, I don't know what it looks like, but on the registry, you can have like your name, your streaming name, just so they can verify if you're a streamer.
Well, the thing is, anybody can become a streamer. You know, you can just say, okay, I have this stream, and I'm small, but I want to register just in case I get big.
Yeah.
So,
but I think it's good to like verify if people are streamers or not, because yeah, anybody can be a criminal. I mean, crap. I'm not saying I am, but shoot, I can be a criminal. I'm just saying, but
you heard him. He's a criminal.
Anybody can be a criminal. one day they're not, but the next day they could be. So
Yeah, it's just, I don't think there's a good solution to this other than just the gaming culture changing.
mm-hmm.
Well, let's move on from this depressing topic. Let's move on to something more optimistic. Let's move on to the Nintendo Switch. As the Wall Street Journal reports, an updated model or a new model of the Nintendo Switch should be appearing in the second half of 2019. So what do you think of this? Do you think it will be a better version or smaller version? A green version?
Honestly, I do believe that the Switch is underpowered, and I think it would benefit if it had a more powerful CPU in it. And one of the things, if this is true, if they like me, I already have a Switch. I paid $300 for it. And that includes both the console, the dock, and the Joy-Con and its grip. And those separately are very expensive. So if they do this, I hope they have like a separate package where you can just buy the upgraded Switch separately from the actual full console bundle.
That may be a good point. I honestly would prefer to see like a Switch Mini. I know the Switch already is pretty small, but what I think they could do is like make it just a tiny bit smaller, but forgo the stand, the base you play at home, and just have it a mobile version of the Switch. Because if you wouldn't need the part that connects, to the base, the Joy-Cons wouldn't be removable, let's say, etc., etc. You could really not take away much of the hardware while reducing its size.
Yeah, but then also they'd also have to reduce the Joy-Cons to be a little bit smaller too, because
not necessarily that much.
Yeah,
I think the screen wouldn't be, the screen is already the size of modern day phones. So they could go from like, is it 6.4? 6.2 inches, is it, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So it could go to like 5.5 inches, the screen. That wouldn't be that much more smaller. The Joy-Cons wouldn't have to be really that much smaller. But you could just forgo a lot of the hardware that is dedicated towards making it a home console. Or maybe just get rid of that and add an extra battery. That I think would be a great choice. But
yeah, well, really the only thing that makes it a home console is the the HDMI the SD port at the bottom of the console that allows you to plug it into the dock.
Well, that's what you see on the outside, but there's probably some hardware dedicated on the inside that could be taken away. As well, if you made the Joy-Cons not detachable, there's probably some hardware going into that could be taken away on both sides, on the Joy-Cons and on the console, just reducing its size. I don't know. I think I would prefer a Switch Mini, but realistically, more likely we're going to be getting a Switch Pro.
Yeah. In all honesty, with my Switch, ever since I got a Pro Controller last year, I have not detached the Joy-Cons from the system.
Yeah, that's another thing. You just make a version with not detachable ones, and the space that is currently being taken on by hardware that is needed for that, put an extra battery for that. Having more RAM
Yeah.
or slightly stronger CPU, and you can add in a bit more of a heatsink in there. So heat is not an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for the Switch to drop below 150, and then I'm gonna buy it.
I doubt that.
Why? You doubt it's gonna drop, or that I'm gonna buy it?
I doubt it's gonna drop because it's Nintendo.
Well, if a new version comes out, then it might happen.
Or what they could do, like I was saying earlier, if you just want to switch with Joy-Cons, they should just have a bundle with just the Switch and Joy-Cons, so you don't have to get a dock if you just want to play mobile.
Yeah, that would be a great solution for me. I don't need a dock. I have my PC for gaming at home. But, you know, I could play on a plane. I could play when I'm going to work as a teacher. I'm driving like 20 minutes I'm riding like 20 minutes on the bus. That's an ideal situation for me. At the moment, that time is spent usually reading books on my cell phone.
Get a Vita. Rest in peace.
Nah, I'm just gonna stick with my phone for the moment. And the reason why I'm gonna do it is actually our next piece of news. We're gonna continue with Nintendo, and they filed a very interesting patent. Have you seen this one for the phone case?
Yeah. Yep, sure have.
Do you want that?
Honestly, no.
Why? I want that so fucking much. So, but, okay, let me give an explanation. It's a phone case, one of those flip phone cases, that has a little window, it has buttons on it, and it allows your phone to work as a Game Boy. Why the fuck would you not want that?
Oh, because you can't beat the original Game Boy.
But yeah, I'm not gonna carry two devices in my pocket. This one allows me to carry just one device and have a phone, a book reader, and a Game Boy in one pocket. That's ideal. That's my dream. Interestingly enough, there is already a patent for an emulator that would allow you to play Game Boy games on phones. And with this being created, maybe we could see this happen for realsies this time. Though technically it has already happened. There is already a phone case that allows you to do this to a certain degree, but it's called the Smart Boy. It's made by Hyperkin. But man, that thing is fucking bulky. This thing looks so much more convenient, and at the same time it's protecting your phone. You already have a case on your phone, whether you like it or not, because modern phones are like glass. Well, most of them are actually glass. So yeah, I really want to see this. I have only one fear on my hands. It's gonna be fucking expensive.
Oh yeah.
Because Nintendo.
Yeah.
Hopefully some Chinese company just makes it cheap. I'm gonna buy that. Let's be honest with ourselves. Yeah, I need to be saving a bit of money, so because I'm planning to move in with my fiance soonish. So I cannot spend like $200 on a phone case. She would probably crucify me. I'm really surprised you don't want this thing, man.
I already got a phone case, and it is a great phone case.
But phone cases break as well. Okay, let's move on from Nintendo.
The one I've had for 2 years has served me well.
I have one for about a year, and it's starting to get destroyed. But it depends on how you use your phone, I guess.
I dropped my phone 3 times on concrete, and there are no cracks.
Oh,
because of the case.
I have a bigger problem with the case itself. I have one of those flip cases. Yeah, I don't have my phone on me. I have it somewhere there. But if you open it, the part that's like holding it together, the glue is starting to get unwinded. So I might have to buy a new case either way soonish. But let's move on to the next topic. Let's move on to Google's new project called Project Stream, which you might guess is about streaming video games, but not streaming as you're playing them and showing it to somebody else. This is about you playing the game without having the hardware for it. So Google showcased this new service a few days ago, and they showed Assassin's Creed Odyssey played in Chrome. And it worked pretty well, to be honest. Have you watched the stream?
Yes, I have.
Well, what do you think? Do you think this is like the future or so? Or do you think it's just a dead end?
I think if they can work out the kinks and actually make it work pretty well, then yeah. Like if there's no latency.
Well, the latency is probably because they played it somewhere where they had Google Fiber.
Yeah.
Like playing at many places, I think this wouldn't work as well as it did on the presentation.
Yeah, true.
I think it really depends on how 5G internet will perform. If 5G internet will be good, then game streaming might become a thing. But until that happens, I have my doubts about it.
Yeah.
But it is a cool piece of technology, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
And the only thing that's really surprising to me is so many companies are like trying to target PC gamers with game streaming. That seems like the worst market for this. I think console gamers would be a much better fit for this technology. Or do you think it's better suited for PC gamers?
Honestly, if Sony and Microsoft can fix their infrastructure and their networks, possibly. But
like imagine if you just bought like a dongle, tiny. You could just stick it into the side of your TV. On top of that, it would add in like smart TV capabilities. Let's say they would give you, like, if you buy this, you get a free 3-month Netflix subscription or something.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect fit for consoles. Like, PC gamers are very often, we're proud of our gaming rigs. The only thing I don't get is RGB. It's just, why the fuck would you want your computer to be shining?
Yeah. But I will say, though, if streaming really does take off, I could really see it, like, people that want to get into PC gaming but don't want to, shell out for a powerful rig. They can just use like example, Google's streaming Project Stream. They can just use that, get like a $500 laptop and just play
everything,
games. Yeah, on their laptop.
Yeah, that's true. For laptops, it's certainly an interesting proposition. But I think most people who are like that, who want to play high-quality games, but they don't want to go into the hassle of buying a computer or building a computer, they go console these days.
Yeah.
Especially in the United States. It's not as much here in Europe, but in the United States, it's really a thing.
Yeah.
So I think it could be like I think it all depends on how they price it and whether, again, internet can catch up with the demands of these services.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to wait.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to a piece of news that I'm pretty sure you're excited about. Walking Dead, the final season will be finished. Do you want to take this one? Because
I
know this one is more to your taste.
Yeah. So Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead, who writes the comics, his company Skybound is gonna be finishing the final season. And yeah, it's good, but also I have my reservations because it might not be the original team that's doing it. And of course, yeah, my concern right now though is seeing the employees get what they're deserved. They got laid off from Telltale rather than getting this game finished. But we'll just have to wait and see how the final 2 episodes turn out.
I'm sort of surprised that you aren't like jumping up and down saying, fuck yeah, we're going to see my story finished. That's what I expected, honestly. You were so sad you're not going to see the ending of the story.
I was sad, but I still have my reservations because it might not be the original creators who work on the first episode, so...
You're full of surprises today. First, you don't want to turn your phone into a Game Boy, and now you're not super excited about this? What's wrong with you? Who replaced you?
Nothing. No one.
No, seriously, are you like a robot or something?
No, I'm not.
I'm so confused today.
Well, I had more time reflecting on it, and I think seeing what the employees that worked on the series deserve, I think that takes more priority than seeing this game finished.
That's a compassionate view. I will give you that. Still surprising, nonetheless. Okay, let's move on to the final 2 pieces of today, which will turn into a single one. Let's talk about 2 game franchises who are going to be coming to the silver screen. First one is Monster Hunter, and the second one is Mega Man. So both of these are from Capcom, as you might see, and it seems Capcom is really believing in my dream. I should have sent them a letter, so they would feel like, oh, there's a guy who understands what we're about. So let's first talk about Monster Hunter. So Monster Hunter will be a movie set in the Monster Hunter universe, pretty obviously. It's going to be a film that tells the story of 2 heroes who come from different worlds to defeat a shared danger, the powerful, deadly, and magnificent monsters that inhabit the land. Along the way, viewers will make new discoveries and encounter familiar faces and beloved characters from the games like The Admiral. So this movie is going to be produced and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who you might know as the director of Resident Evil movies. And that actually, I think, is great news. Resident Evil, while not really that faithful to their original stories, let's face that,
No.
are good action movies. They're not bad. They're like, you know, it's not something you're going to watch 20 years from now because it's a classic. But they're entertaining enough. And Monster Hunter, I think, is a good fit for that.
Yeah.
There are some reports of Milla Jovovich actually going to star in Monster Hunter, the actress from Resident Evil. I didn't know if you knew this, but she's actually married to the director.
Huh.
So that's like a cool piece of gossip. The producer of the Monster Hunter series said, "After living and breathing in the universe of Monster Hunter for 14 years, we are thrilled with enormous anticipation to see our creations adapted for a theatrical release." And I don't see if there is a date anywhere yet, but it's announced that it is coming. It said that much of the filming will take in Namibia and in South Africa, and the filming should actually begin sometime this month. So yeah, that's cool. I really hope this is a good one.
Yeah.
And for the other one, Mega Man, which honestly I never really seen as like prime estate for taking taking gaming to the movies. Just like, okay. But after reading, I think this one actually has more potential. The thing is, I really like the statement made by German Entertainment, who are, for example, producers of the Planet of the Apes series, and is also being co-produced by Masaoka, who you might know as one of the as one of the actors from Heroes. He played Hero, you know, the guy who could teleport and stop time.
Yeah. Yep.
So he said, the film aims to appeal to a diverse audience, including not only game players, but action movie fans as well, with an adaptation that maintains the world of the Mega Man games while incorporating the grand production and entertainment value that Hollywood movies are known for. And I think the part where they're not only targeting gamers, but action movie fans is the important part. We talked about this a little bit in the pre-show. I don't think gaming movies currently need a Dark Knight. You know, something that shows that you can make a really, like a dark and true story set in any of the gaming worlds. What we need is an Iron Man movie. Something almost silly, but done so well that it sparks a whole fucking franchise. Not necessarily a Mega Man franchise, but it just sparks enough interest in gaming movies that they can become the next big thing after comic movies. And I know I've talked about this so many fucking times, and I'm gonna talk about it so many fucking times in the future because I really want this to be the case.
The CCU, the Capcom Cinematic Universe.
I just want to see the gaming cinematic universe.
Sure.
Honestly, I think Blizzard needs to get in on this. They have so many franchises with lore so well fleshed out, and I know they started with Warcraft, and there is a sequel in production. But I want to see, and we heard rumors about a Diablo TV series happening. An Overwatch movie would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
And you know what could be sort of hilarious? I want them to make a Cartoon Network silly show about Hearthstone. You know, along the lines of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just be it like the heroes of Warcraft just going through tournaments, playing card games, but have it insanely well animated. And there are so many great animations on YouTube of like Hearthstone matches. And Hearthstone has so much silliness in it. Like, after the show, I'm going to send you one of my favorite ones. And you're just going to laugh. Even though you're not like going to get all the context, because I know you're not a Hearthstone player. It's just so well done. And just imagine if a good budget would be thrown onto the animation. It would be awesome. Obviously, there are so many other franchises that could be thrown into this. Bethesda could just go with Fallout or the Elder Scrolls. Can you imagine, like, an actual good Doom movie? Not the shitty one, but just have a good Doom movie?
Ooh. You know, it'd be a good movie. Movie of the Wolfenstein.
Yeah, Wolfenstein would be amazing. Like, it's almost like The Man in the High Castle. Have you seen that series?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
That's just make it more action packed, and you get Wolfenstein essentially.
Yeah, I can actually see Wolfenstein be more like an action comedy type of movie.
Yeah, sure. There's so many franchises in the world of gaming that are just begging
Yes.
to be transformed either to TV or movies.
Yeah. Yeah, just do them justice. Don't screw it up.
Yeah, don't try to make it silly because you think only kids play games. No, the average gamer is like 34-year-old and has 2.5 kids. I hope that not literally. But yeah. Okay, so that's it for the news today. I think that leaves us with going into recommendations for next week. So I'm gonna go first if you don't mind.
Go for it.
And I'm gonna start with a game called Hinterhalt 2. And this is a first-person shooter, which is set in the world of World War II. It takes on a pretty cartoonish look, actually. But yeah, it looks actually to be fun from a first glance. I haven't played that many first-person shooters in a while, so I'm going to give this one a try this week to see whether...
Okay.
Well, first-person shooters still entertain me before I get my hands on Doom Eternal. Because I'm going to play the shit out of Doom Eternal for sure. Hinterhalt 2 is coming out on October 8th in approximately 22 hours, as Steam tells me. I do not see the price, but hopefully, I'm hoping it's around 20 to 30 bucks. Okay, what is your first game to recommend?
The first one I'd like to recommend The Missing, J.J. Macfield in the Island of Memories, and I'll just refer to The Missing.
Okay.
Pretty much, it's made by the same. It's created by the same guy who made Deadly Premonition a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
From what I can tell in the trailer, you play as a person that when you die, you get decapitated. You actually have to go and reassemble your body so you can keep on progressing.
That sounds silly as hell.
Yeah.
But entertaining as hell as well. I will give you that.
Yeah. One of the things that grabbed me when I saw the trailer for it was all the death animations in the game.
Yeah, I'm looking at a trailer right now, and man, I still don't understand how you choose your games. Like, do you just take acid when you're choosing your games?
No, I just if a game like today I was looking at games that are coming out this week and I saw this. I was like, what is this? Watched Stretch, I was like, okay. Might give it a look.
So, what is it coming out, and what's the price on this?
I don't know the price, but it's coming out on October 11th for PS4, PC, and Xbox One.
Okay, so hopefully it's an enjoyable game.
Yeah.
Okay, my second recommendation this week is called Elderborn. And this seems to be your typical first-person slasher game where you just try to slash stuff with your sword and do it in a fun way. It actually reminds me of City of Brass to a degree. Though I don't think this one is a roguelite. I think it's just like a linear game. But it looks good. I'm going to give it a try and see whether combat is any fun. I like these sort of games. The only thing I'm afraid of is movement.
Mm-hmm.
Movement can be really... City of Brass did its movement pretty well. Here, I don't know. Will it be fun? I don't know. It's coming out on the 11th, so yeah. We'll see whether it's fun or not.
Okay.
Okay, what else do you have to recommend?
And last, I have The World Ends with You final mix for the Nintendo Switch. It's a remastered version of The World Ends with You, which came out back in 2008 for the DS. It's a JRPG set in Shibuya, Tokyo, where you where when people die, they have to participate in this thing called the Ripper game, and if they win, they either get to come back to life or to a higher transcendence.
Yeah, this game is just 100% not for me.
Yeah.
JRPG set in Japan and looks like a mobile game. Not for me, but
Well,
for those of you who like it,
well,
sure.
yeah. Well, it did. They did port it to mobile back in 2012.
So, what is coming out?
It's coming out on October 12th for Switch, and I don't know the price, but hopefully it will not be a full price game considering it's a remaster. But no Nintendo,
It will.
possibly.
Okay, I actually got one more recommendation, but this is technically not a game as it is a VR experience, and it's called The Great Sea. And it's essentially just a story based on the works of Philip K. Dick. And man, I love me some Philip K. Dick. If you don't know who the fuck he is, he's the guy who originally wrote Blade Runner.
Yep.
And many other great works. Yeah, The Man in the High Castle was also written by him originally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this one is a story about heroes who live. Oh, originally, I'm not sure about this one. This one is a VR experience again. But originally, it's about a post-apocalyptic society where you have this one great computer that requires sacrifice from a nearby tribe of people who are essentially reversed back to like Middle Ages. And they come to him every year and they have to ask him 3 questions. The hardest questions they can come up with. And if the computer can answer, they die. But if they don't, it leaves them alone. I'm not probably gonna get to play this week because I do not have VR. But if I have to go to like Prague just to find a VR arcade, or hopefully I can find like a friend here in the town where I live who has VR and just buy this game for him so I can experience it at his place, I'm gonna do that because I just want to experience this. This will be freaking amazing if done correctly.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the pre-show, and you piqued my interest too. And fortunately, it is coming to PSVR, so
yeah, that's a benefit for and PSVR is actually a good VR. I will give you that.
Yeah, it is.
So this thing is coming out on the 9th, so in about 2 days. For PC, it's on HTC Vive and Oculus Rift. It's also on PSVR. I'm sort of sad that this one isn't coming to like Google Lens or something like that, because this could, I think, fit there very well. And that would be something doable for me.
Yeah. I'm thinking about getting this to look myself, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna be jealous if you do. Okay, anything else you would like to recommend?
Nope. How about you?
Not really. Then I guess it's slowly time to bring this show to an end. And as we do always, we do that by a bit of shilling. So let me go first. You can find me at Kralizec Gaming on YouTube. I do reviews. Tomorrow I'm going to be posting a review of Time Spinner. If you're a Steemit guy, you can go to @Kralizec and watch me there. I also work as a community manager for the first real blockchain connected MMORPG called Chibera. So if you're an MMO guy, visit our blog at Chibera. We currently have a contest up where you can design one of the elder races and win up to 20 Steam. So check that out.
Okay. You can find me on YouTube as Tygergamer. I mainly do Let's Plays, and you can also find me on Steam at Tygergamer. So.
And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you are watching on Steam, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in tomorrow because the gaming news series becomes a reality as it does every single day. See you guys later with more gaming content.
You have a good one.